Have you ever noticed the things you defend the most are the very things exhausting you? You protect your habits, your reactions, your need to be understood, believing they keep you safe. But what if they are the chains? In a world obsessed with expression, proving and being seen, why do you still feel unseen within yourself? According to Lord Buddha, suffering does not come from what happens to you, but from what you refuse to release. Today, we won't add anything to your life, we will remove. And by the end, you may realize the heaviest burden you carry is not life itself, but what you refuse to let go of. Stay until the end, because the last thing you remove might be the one you never suspected. Stop apologizing for existing. Why do you whisper sorry even when your heart has done nothing wrong? Sit with that for a moment. Notice how quickly the word escapes your lips, as if your very existence needs approval. Somewhere along your path, you were taught that being seen is a burden, that taking space is a mistake, and so you began a quiet habit of self-erasure. You call it politeness. But look deeper, it feels more like fear wearing a gentle mask. Tell me, when did your presence start to feel like something to apologize for? In the teachings of the awakened ones, suffering is not only born from pain, but from the lies we repeat until they feel like truth. Unnecessary guilt is one of those lies. It is a subtle form of self-harm, a soft violence you turn inward. Each time you apologize without cause, you confirm a dangerous belief: I should not be here as I am. And slowly, without noticing, you begin to shrink, your voice softens, your truth bends, your spirit learns to hide. But understand this clearly: when you shrink yourself to fit others, you do not find peace, you disappear from your own life. Imagine a candle in a dark room apologizing for its light. It flickers nervously, trying not to disturb the shadows. But the darkness does not thank it, it only grows. This is what happens when you dim yourself for the comfort of others. The world does not become kinder, it becomes emptier, and you, quietly, begin to fade. So ask yourself with honesty, who truly benefits from your silence? Who gains when you make yourself smaller than you are? Now pause. Close your eyes, just for a breath. Feel the air entering your body, leaving again. Notice how your breath does not ask permission. It does not apologize for existing. It simply is. This is your true nature, effortless presence, life flowing through you without guilt, without hesitation. Somewhere along the way, you forgot this simplicity, but it has not left you. It is still here, waiting to be remembered. So begin gently. The next time sorry rises to your lips, pause. Ask yourself, did I truly do harm, or am I trying to make others comfortable at the cost of my own truth? Replace one apology with silence, then with honesty. You will feel the discomfort at first. Good. That discomfort is the breaking of an old chain. Reflect deeply now. Where did you learn to apologize for being yourself? What are you truly afraid will happen if you stop? And if you continue this way, how much of your life will remain unlived? Remember this: your existence is not an inconvenience. It is not an error. It is not something to shrink. The pain you feel is not life rejecting you. It is your own spirit quietly asking you to stop abandoning yourself. 2. Stop explaining your decisions. Why do you feel the need to explain every decision you make? Notice the subtle urgency in your voice when you justify your choices, as if your life must pass through the approval of others before it can be lived. You say it is for clarity, for understanding, but if you sit quietly with your truth, you may sense something deeper, a silent plea to be accepted, to not be rejected. And in that moment, your power begins to leak away, word by word. Tell me honestly, when did your decisions stop being enough on their own? There is a quiet teaching. A clear mind does not argue. It simply moves. When your inner ground is steady, You do not feel the need to convince. Over-explaining is not communication. It is self-doubt speaking politely. Each extra sentence is like knocking again on a door that was never meant to decide your path. And slowly, without realizing, you begin to outsource your authority. You look outward for validation, forgetting that your life was never meant to be negotiated like this. So ask yourself, when you explain too much, are you sharing truth or asking permission? Imagine a river flowing down a mountain. It does not pause at every stone to justify its direction. It moves with quiet certainty, shaping the land not through force, but through unwavering presence. Now imagine that same river stopping, explaining itself to every obstacle. It would lose its strength, its rhythm, its very nature. This is what happens to you when you over-explain. You do not become clearer. You become slower, smaller, uncertain. Where in your life are you pausing, not because you must, but because you doubt yourself? Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself making a decision, firm, grounded, simple. Now imagine saying nothing about it. Feel the discomfort rise, that tightness in your chest, that fear of being misunderstood. Stay with it. Beneath that discomfort, there is something quieter, a steady strength that does not need witnesses. This is your inner authority, long buried under the habit of seeking approval. Can you feel it? Begin with small steps. The next time you make a choice, resist the urge to explain it away. Speak only what is necessary or say nothing at all. Let your actions carry your truth. You may feel exposed at first, even judged. But understand, this is not weakness leaving you. It is your old dependency dissolving. Reflect deeply now. Do you explain to be understood or to be accepted? What would your silence reveal about your confidence? And where are you abandoning yourself just to feel approved for a moment? Remember this, your path does not need an audience to be valid. The moment you stop explaining your life is the moment you begin truly living it. 3. Stop fearing solitude. Why does silence feel so heavy to you when it was meant to feel like home? Notice how quickly you reach for noise, the phone, the conversation, the distraction. Not because you need it, but because something inside you feels unsettled when you are left alone. You call it loneliness. But look closer. What if it is not the absence of people, but the presence of everything you have been avoiding? Tell me, what begins to surface the moment the world grows quiet? There is a quiet truth. The one who fears being alone has never truly met themselves. Solitude is not punishment, it is revelation. When you stop running outward, your inner world finally speaks. Old emotions rise, unprocessed thoughts knock on the door, questions you buried begin to breathe again. This is why you escape, not because solitude is empty, but because it is full of truths you are not yet ready to face. But understand this clearly, what you avoid does not disappear. It waits, it grows, and it shapes your life from the shadows. Imagine a man running from his shadow, believing it is something separate from him. He runs faster, tries to hide, tries to escape, until exhaustion forces him to stop. And in that stillness, the shadow disappears. Not because it was defeated, but because it was never separate. This is your relationship with solitude. The more you run, the heavier it feels. The moment you stop, it softens, it opens, it teaches. So, ask yourself, what are you truly running from? Sit alone, just for a moment. No phone, no distraction. Let the silence wrap around you. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, even unsettling. Thoughts may race, emotions may rise. Do not escape, do not fix, just observe. This is the doorway you have been avoiding, and beyond it is clarity. Beyond it is a deeper version of you that does not depend on noise to feel alive. Can you stay with yourself long enough to meet that person? Start small. Give yourself a few minutes each day where you choose solitude, not as isolation, but as connection. Watch your thoughts without judgment. Feel your emotions without resistance. Slowly, the fear will loosen, and in its place, something unexpected will grow, a quiet companionship with your own being. Reflect deeply. What do you avoid when you are alone? Is loneliness truly the absence of others or the absence of self? And if you stopped running today, what truth might finally find you? Remember this: the silence you fear is not empty, it is the place where you return to yourself. 4. Stop feeding. What irritates you? Why do the smallest things control your peace? A comment, a delay, a tone in someone's voice, and suddenly your mind is restless. You replay it, analyze it, carry it into moments that had nothing to do with it. Look carefully. This is not the power of the situation, it is the power of your attention. You believe you are reacting to life, but often you are feeding it. Tell me honestly, how much of your day is shaped not by what happens, but by what you keep giving your energy to? There is a quiet truth. What you react to, you give power to. Attention is silent nourishment. Whatever you hold in your mind, you strengthen, whether you love it or resent it. This is why irritation lingers. Not because it is strong, but because you keep it alive. You revisit it, defend your reaction, justify your disturbance, and slowly it becomes part of you. So ask yourself, are you disturbed because of what happened, or because you refuse to let it go? Imagine watering weeds in your garden while complaining about their growth. Each drop of attention you give is like water. The more you focus on what irritates you, the deeper it roots itself into your mind, and then you wonder why peace feels distant. But peace was never far, it was simply crowded out by what you chose to nourish. Where in your life are you watering what you wish would disappear? Pause now. Bring to mind the last thing that annoyed you. See it clearly. Feel the pull to react again, to justify, to replay, to hold on to it. Now gently step back. Imagine not feeding it at all. No inner argument, no emotional fuel, just space. Watch what happens. Without your attention, it begins to lose shape, lose weight, fade. Can you feel that shift? Practice this quietly in your daily life. When irritation arises, notice it, but do not serve it. Let it pass like a cloud that does not need your commentary. This is not suppression. This is wisdom, choosing what deserves your energy. At first, your mind will resist. It is used to reacting. But with time, you will discover a deeper control, the control of where your attention rests. Reflect now. What are you unconsciously feeding every day? How often do you mistake reaction for control? And if you withdrew your attention, what would finally stop growing inside you? Remember this: the things that disturb you are not always powerful. They are simply well-fed. 5. Stop gossiping, even in thought. Why does speaking about others feel relieving in the moment, yet leaves a quiet restlessness behind? Notice what happens after gossip, whether spoken aloud or whispered in your own thoughts. There is a subtle heaviness, as if something inside you has been disturbed. You may call it harmless, but look deeper. Each judgment you form about another is not separate from you. It shapes the way your mind sees the world. Tell me, when you speak of others, what are you really strengthening within yourself? There is a silent truth. The mind that judges others cannot see itself clearly. Judgment feels like control, like understanding, but it is often a distraction, a way to avoid looking inward. When you reduce someone else to a label, you simplify the world so you don't have to face its complexity or your own. But this comes at a cost. Your inner clarity becomes clouded. You begin to see people not as they are, but as your mind paints them. And slowly, without noticing, you lose the ability to see yourself honestly. Imagine muddy water trying to reflect the sky. No matter how vast or beautiful the sky is, the reflection will always be distorted. This is your mind when it is filled with judgment. You cannot perceive truth clearly because your vision is colored by opinion, comparison, and silent criticism. So ask yourself, are you seeing reality or only your interpretation of it? Pause for a moment. Observe a thought about someone else as it arises. Maybe it is critical, maybe dismissive. Do not follow it, do not engage. Just watch it pass, like a cloud moving across the sky. At first, your mind will want to hold on to it, to build a story around it. But if you remain still, something shifts. The thought dissolves, and in its absence, there is lightness. A quiet clarity begins to return. Can you feel the difference? Practice this gently. Each time you catch yourself gossiping, even silently, step back, not with guilt, but with awareness. Let the thought go before it roots itself. This is how you protect your inner space. Not by controlling others, but by purifying your own perception. Reflect deeply. What does your judgment reveal about you? Why do you need others to appear smaller? And can you sit even for a moment without labeling anyone at all? Remember this. The more you judge, the less you see. And the less you see, the further you drift from truth. 6. Stop performing to be liked. Why do you feel the need to be the most liked person in the room? Notice the subtle effort, the extra joke, the polished response, the careful adjustment of your personality depending on who is watching. You may call it confidence, charm, adaptability, but sit with it quietly. It often feels like performance. A quiet pressure to be accepted, to be approved, to not be forgotten. And in that effort, something real begins to fade. Tell me honestly, when you are trying to impress, are you truly present or are you managing an image? There is a gentle but piercing truth. The mask you wear for acceptance slowly suffocates your truth. Every time you perform to be liked, you send a message inward. Who I am is not enough. And so you build versions of yourself, one for this person, another for that situation. Over time, the lines blur. You forget what is natural and what is rehearsed. This is the hidden cost of approval. It fragments your identity. You gain attention, but lose connection with yourself. So, ask yourself, if the audience disappeared, who would remain? Imagine an actor who forgets the stage has ended. The lights are off, the audience is gone, but still, he continues the role, speaking lines, wearing expressions that no longer belong to the moment. This is how many live. Performing not just in public, but in private, in silence, even in solitude. The mask becomes so familiar that it feels like a face, but it is not. And deep within, there is a quiet exhaustion that cannot be explained. Where in your life are you still acting long after the moment has passed? Pause now, picture yourself in a room with others. This time, say less, do less. Let the urge to impress rise, and do not follow it. Feel the discomfort, that restless need to fill the silence, to prove your worth. Stay with it. Beneath that urge, there is something unfamiliar, a raw, unfiltered presence. It may feel vulnerable at first, but it is real. Can you allow yourself to be seen without decoration? Begin gently. In your next interaction, release the need to perform even slightly. Speak what is true, not what is impressive. Let moments of silence exist without rushing to fill them. Slowly, the mask will loosen, and in its place, something stronger will emerge. Not a better version of you, but a more honest one. Reflect deeply. Who are you trying to impress, and why? What would happen if you stopped performing today? And without the mask, do you truly know who you are? Remember this, the approval you chase can never replace the truth you abandon. 7. Stop obsessing over looking busy. Why do you fear being seen as idle? Notice how quickly you fill your time, checking, doing, moving, responding. Even in moments meant for rest, your mind searches for something to prove you are still productive. But pause and look deeper. What are you trying to escape? Because often, it is not work you are chasing, it is silence you are avoiding. Tell me honestly, if everything stopped for a moment, what would you be forced to feel? There is a quiet truth. A restless life is often an unlived one. Busyness can look like purpose, but many times it is only distraction wearing discipline's clothing. You move quickly, yet inside, something remains untouched, unexplored. The constant activity becomes a shield, protecting you from questions you do not want to face. And slowly, without noticing, your days become full, but not meaningful. So ask yourself, are you building a life, or just keeping yourself occupied? Imagine a wheel spinning rapidly in one place. It makes noise, it creates motion, it appears active, but it goes nowhere. This is what happens when you confuse movement with direction. You stay busy, yet your inner world remains unchanged. The emptiness you try to outrun quietly follows. Where in your life are you moving fast, but not moving forward? Pause now. Stop whatever you are doing, even for a brief moment. Do nothing. Let the stillness settle around you. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, almost unnatural. Your mind will urge you to move again, to fill the space, to escape the quiet. Stay. Beneath that discomfort, there is something spacious, something calm. This is the space where clarity begins. Can you allow yourself to enter it? Practice this gently. Create small moments in your day where you choose stillness over activity, not as laziness, but as awareness. Let your actions come from intention, not habit. Slowly, your work will shift from endless motion to meaningful direction, and you will discover a different kind of productivity, one that does not exhaust you, but aligns you. Reflect deeply. What are you avoiding through busyness? Is your work truly purposeful or quietly distracting you? And when was the last time you allowed yourself to simply be still? Remember this, filling your time is easy. Filling your life with meaning requires the courage to stop. 8. Stop needing to win every argument. Why is being right so important to you that you are willing to lose your peace for it? Notice what happens in an argument. Your voice sharpens, your thoughts race, your body tightens. You are no longer listening. You are preparing your next defense. You call it standing your ground. But look closer. It often feels like protecting an image. The image of being correct, intelligent, justified. Tell me honestly, in those moments, are you seeking truth or victory? There is a quiet truth. Winning an argument often means losing your peace. The ego does not care about understanding. It cares about dominance. It wants to be right, not because truth matters, but because identity feels threatened. And so, even when the conversation ends, the disturbance remains. You replay the words, justify your position, relive the tension. The argument may be over, but the conflict continues within you. So ask yourself, what exactly did you win? Imagine two fires trying to burn each other. Neither one becomes calmer. Neither one becomes clearer. They only create more heat, more destruction, more exhaustion. This is what happens when two egos collide. No light is created, only noise and damage. And often, long after the moment has passed, the warmth you needed is replaced by a lingering emptiness. Where in your life are you creating heat when all you needed was understanding? Pause now. Recall a recent disagreement. Feel the energy of it, the need to prove, to correct, to defend. Now imagine something different. Imagine letting the other person win, not out of weakness, but out of awareness. Notice what shifts inside you. At first, there may be resistance, a sense of loss, but beneath it, something softer appears, a release, a quiet space where your mind no longer needs to fight. Can you feel that lightness? Practice this gently. The next time conflict arises, listen more than you speak. Ask yourself, does this moment require truth or just your ego's victory? Sometimes, the strongest response is silence, not because you have nothing to say, but because you have nothing to prove. Reflect deeply. What do you truly gain by being right? What do you quietly lose each time you fight? And can peace exist without the need to win? Remember this, your need to be right can imprison you, but your willingness to let go can set you free. 9. Stop defending what hurts you. Why do you keep protecting what drains you? Look closely at the patterns you defend, the relationship that tires you, the habit that weakens you, the belief that quietly holds you back. You explain it, justify it, even fight for it, as if letting it go would mean losing a part of yourself. But sit with this honestly. Are you protecting something meaningful or avoiding the pain of releasing it? Tell me, what are you afraid will remain if you finally let go? There is a quiet truth. What you keep defending is often what keeps you trapped. Attachment does not always feel like love. Sometimes it feels like duty, like identity, like this is just who I am. And so you keep holding on, even when it hurts. You convince yourself it will improve, that it is not that bad, that you can handle it. But every defense strengthens the grip. Every excuse deepens the attachment. And slowly, without realizing it, your suffering becomes something you protect. So ask yourself, if it truly helped you, would you need to defend it this much? Imagine holding a burning coal in your hand, trying to prove your strength. You endure the heat, ignore the pain, refuse to let it go. Not because it helps you, but because letting go feels like losing. This is how attachment hides itself. You suffer, not because you have to, but because you believe you should. And the longer you hold on, the harder it becomes to release. Where in your life are you holding tightly, even while it burns you? Pause now. Bring to mind something you keep defending. See it clearly. Feel the weight of it, the effort it takes to keep it alive. Now imagine loosening your grip, not all at once, just enough to feel the possibility of release. Notice what comes up. There may be fear, uncertainty, even a strange emptiness. But beneath it, there is also relief, a quiet lightness that has been waiting. Can you feel both at the same time? Start gently. You do not need to force yourself to let go immediately, but you must stop pretending it does not hurt. Accept the truth of what you are holding. Say it inwardly, without denial. This is where freedom begins, not in action, but in honesty. From there, the grip will slowly soften. Reflect deeply. What are you protecting that continues to hurt you? Why does letting go feel heavier than holding on? And if you were no longer tied to it, who might you become? Remember this, the pain you defend is the prison you keep alive. And the moment you stop protecting it, the door quietly opens. 10. Stop building identity from the past. Why do you keep defining yourself by what is already gone? Notice how often you say, "This is just who I am," and behind it, there is always a story, something that happened, something that shaped you, something you carry like proof. But look closely. Are you speaking your truth or repeating your past? Because the past has a quiet way of becoming a cage when you mistake it for identity. Tell me honestly, who would you be if you stopped introducing yourself through old wounds and outdated roles? There is a deep truth. Holding on to the past is like carrying a ghost. It has no real form in the present moment, yet it follows you, affects you, limits you. You react not to what is happening, but to what already happened. And so, your life becomes repetition, not creation. You think you are being consistent, but in truth, you are being conditioned. So ask yourself, are you living new experiences or just repeating familiar patterns? Imagine wearing clothes that no longer fit you. They once belonged to you, once defined you. But now, they limit your movement, your comfort, your growth. Still, you refuse to remove them because they feel familiar. This is what your past identities do. I am the one who failed. I am the one who was hurt. I am the one who cannot change. These are not truths. They are old clothes, and the longer you wear them, the more you forget that you can choose something new. Where in your life are you still dressed as who you used to be? Pause now. See your past not as your identity, but as a story. A series of moments that happened, shaped you, taught you, but do not define you. Watch what happens when you create this small distance. The grip starts to loosen. The weight starts to lift. You realize that you are not the character. You are the awareness behind it. Can you feel that quiet separation? Begin gently. When an old label appears within you, do not fight it, but do not accept it blindly either. Question it. Ask, does this belong to who I am now or who I used to be? Give yourself permission to grow without guilt. Growth often feels like betrayal to your past self, but it is actually loyalty to your present self. Reflect deeply. What version of yourself are you still holding on to? Who are you without these old labels? And right now, are you truly living or simply remembering? Remember this. The past is a place you visited, not a home where you must stay. Bonus. Stop being addicted to struggle. Why does peace feel uncomfortable, almost empty, even boring? Notice how, when things finally become calm, your mind starts searching for a problem. Something to fix, something to chase, something to worry about. It feels unnatural to simply be. And so, without noticing it, you create small storms, overthinking, overreacting, overcomplicating. You call it responsibility, ambition, intensity, but look deeper. It often feels like addiction. Tell me honestly, if nothing was wrong, would you know how to exist? There is a quiet truth. Some people fear peace because it asks them to face themselves. Struggle gives you a role. It makes you feel important, needed, involved. It fills the silence with urgency, but peace removes all of that. It leaves you alone with your thoughts, your identity, your unhealed emotions, and that can feel unfamiliar, even threatening, so you return to chaos, not because it helps you, but because it feels familiar. Ask yourself, are you solving real problems or creating them to avoid stillness? Imagine a storm that believes it must always rage to exist. It forgets that calm skies are its natural state. This is how the mind behaves when it becomes attached to struggle. It forgets that peace is not emptiness. It is clarity. It is not boredom. It is freedom. But to experience it, you must stop feeding the need for constant stimulation. Where in your life are you choosing noise simply because silence feels unfamiliar? Pause now. Sit in stillness, even for a few moments. No distractions, no problems to solve, just you as you are. Watch what happens. The mind will resist. It will search for something to hold on to, a worry, a plan, a memory. Do not follow it. Let the urge to create chaos rise and pass. Beneath that restlessness, there is a quiet space. At first, it may feel empty. Stay a little longer, and it starts to feel peaceful. Can you remain there without needing more? Practice this gently. Notice when you are about to create unnecessary struggle. Pause, breathe, ask, does this really need my energy? Slowly, you will begin to break the habit of chaos, and in its place, a deeper strength will appear, the ability to exist without constant noise. Reflect deeply. Do you create problems to feel alive? Why does calmness feel so unfamiliar? And if you were no longer defined by struggle, who would you become? Remember this. The chaos you cling to is not your purpose. It is only what you have mistaken for it. Quick summary of principles. Stop apologizing for existing by understanding that constant apology weakens your self-worth. It conditions others to undervalue you, creates unnecessary guilt, and disconnects you from your natural confidence. Stop explaining your decisions by understanding that over-explaining signals self-doubt, invites judgment, weakens inner authority, and keeps you dependent on outside validation. Stop fearing solitude by realizing that avoiding being alone blocks self-discovery, strengthens emotional dependence, prevents clarity, and keeps you disconnected from your true self. Stop feeding what irritates you by accepting that constant reaction increases negativity, drains mental energy, strengthens emotional triggers, and gives power to what should not matter. Stop gossiping by observing that judgment clouds perception, damages inner peace, strengthens insecurity, and keeps your mind focused outward instead of inward growth. Stop performing to be liked by seeing that seeking approval weakens authenticity, creates identity confusion, causes emotional exhaustion, and pulls you away from your real self. Stop obsessing over looking busy by understanding that constant activity hides inner emptiness, replaces purpose with distraction, prevents stillness, and disconnects you from meaningful action. Stop needing to win every argument by realizing that ego-driven conflict destroys peace, values being right over being wise, damages relationships, and traps you in unnecessary mental battles. Stop defending what hurts you by recognizing that attachment to pain extends suffering, creates emotional dependence, distorts judgment, and blocks personal growth. Stop building identity from the past by accepting that clinging to old labels limits transformation, strengthens outdated beliefs, traps you in memory, and prevents present awareness. Stop being addicted to struggle by noticing that constant chaos creates false purpose, prevents inner stillness, strengthens stress patterns, and makes peace feel unfamiliar. Finally, stop explaining your healing by accepting that true growth is internal. Silent progress builds strength. Seeking validation weakens transformation, and real change does not need an audience. The mind clings, not because it is strong, but because it fears emptiness. Yet in Zen philosophy, emptiness is not loss, it is space. Space to breathe, to see clearly, to exist without distortion. What you remove from your life does not leave you empty. It reveals what was always hidden beneath the noise. This is the quiet truth many avoid. Peace is not something you create, it is something you uncover when everything false is removed. In the stillness where nothing is added, everything becomes clear. So begin, not by changing the world, but by removing what no longer belongs in your inner space. Release the unnecessary, the performative, the exhausting, and in that quiet release you will not become less, you will finally become real. Remind viewers to like, share this video, share their thoughts in the comment box, and subscribe to Buddha's Eternal Wisdom for more inspiring Buddhist insights on living a peaceful life.